This is the very beginning.
This is
if
nothing.
you have an iceberg up here, we are right here.
It has been an extremely busy operation all morning long. It took about 6 hours to get all of the trucks that correspond to this facility loaded up. And well, we talked to some of these drivers who say that they will be essentially living out of their trucks for the next 3 days.
Take a look at this model by tomorrow night. This is just one model. It's not set in stone. Look at Winchester, 43.
See this as a major storm. It has life and death implications.
Now, this morning we saw cars not only getting ticketed, but cars being towed as well. D.C. Department of Public Works employees tell us that they tow those cars to get them off the roads so they can salt and plow from curb to curb without any issues.
If you travel by bus, so Fairfax County Connector closed at 1 o'clock, 1:30 Arlington Transit buses.
And let's talk about the trains. What are our plans for Metro Rail?
Sure. So the rail system will stay open until 11 p.m. tonight, and then it will close and remain closed all day tomorrow, Saturday, and all day on Sunday as well.
This is also a staging area for VDOT. You have crews getting settled here, getting their plans. If you see that black SUV right over there, that is sort of the operations manager for this section of Northern Virginia. He's talking to those crews. Those are contractors that are getting ready to get out on the roads.
Usually here on this tarmac, a Friday afternoon, it would be busy. You would see planes coming and going, shuttle buses getting those to the regional flights, and look, it is at a standstill. That is for the reason, well, that's because of this. Take a look here. The flights, this is what's been listed right next to it, canceled.
All of these employees here have volunteered to stay in the store overnight. They will sleep in a back room overnight. They'll have a little turkey bowling here, I understand, at around 8 o'clock this evening, and they will be able to keep the store open tomorrow.
What did you buy here at Ayers?
This is a bus tub for a restaurant that we're going to be using as a sled.
Where'd you get this idea?
Nowhere. We just saw it up there, and it looked like the best option since the sleds are sold out, and I'm 31, so I can't use a child sled anyway. I have to use a bus tub. It's much more mature.
For Matt and Ryan Silver, this snowy day is also their happiest day. They got married at a local winery a little ahead of schedule because of the blizzard.
We were originally getting married on Sunday, and the venue told us you should do it tomorrow because if not, we make no guarantees. So last-minute wedding came together pretty well.
The happy couple, still in their wedding clothes, yes, there's the ring, will make camp here in Ashburn for a couple of days. They showed how humor is an essential ingredient of married bliss.
It was kind of like either we get married this weekend or we wait a really long time for it to happen.
Sir, at what point did you decide, I'm going to keep this shop open?
No, I just decided because it was way too busy, and all the customers keep calling, are you open, are you open? This is only one store open in the Rockwell, and they want some beer and wine. That's why we decided to stay open.
You got to stay warm somehow.
Yeah, we'll go. yeah, we'll stay warm.
But as you can see here, we even have a man who is out bicycling in this right down Connecticut Avenue, and another person behind him who is walking in the middle of the road. And I can tell you as a motorist, that is a disaster.
Just happening right now. We are just seeing a flight take off. We do believe that that will be the last flight here. It was the last flight still listed on the departure report within the past half hour. We just saw that flight take off. We believe that will be the last one leaving from here at Reagan National Airport tonight. We were talking to officials. All flights tomorrow canceled. The wind and the snow picking up.
Unfortunately, we have seen a lot of people who are still out here on the roads on 66. Police would like you to get home. I don't know what these folks are doing out here. I know what I'm doing out here, but I don't know what they're doing out here.
You think it's snowing now, you just give it a few more hours here. Blizzard warnings continue from Spotsylvania County to Long Island, New York until 6 a.m. Sunday morning. 30 million people under a blizzard warning now.
7 on your side have been trying to reach the shelter in D.C., the shelter hotline, for 3 hours. We finally did get through. They do have room for people, so don't give up if you need shelter tonight.
What do you call a gas station with no gas? A parking lot. We have cars just sitting here, not moving. Here's another casualty of this evening's weather. The hydraulic line on this plow has been broken, so this guy is out of service. This is the kind of weather we are dealing with tonight, folks.
You're watching Storm Watch 7 coverage of Blizzard 2016.
Straight up at 7 o'clock right now, Storm Watch tonight. We are on Blizzard 2016. If you haven't been outside, it is just starting to intensify. In fact, here are a look at today's top headlines for you. 30 million people now being impacted by this blizzard.
Metro service ends at 11 o'clock tonight. It will be closed through the weekend. As for bus service, it ended at 5 o'clock. Airlines have canceled more than 6,000 flights for today and tomorrow.
In the beginning, there's a beauty, even an elegance, to a snowstorm.
Old Town is like a ghost town right now.
But that sentiment may not last long.
It's crazy out here. I mean, it's freezing.
As these few inches will soon multiply in the coming day to 15, 20, maybe 30 inches of snow.
I advise everybody to stay inside.
Man and machine are now holding their own against Mother Nature. But shovels and plows alone may not be able to keep pace with a storm that's expected to morph into a blizzard.
Futurecast forecast shows band after band after band. And here's the snow rate at the top of our screen. The deepest blues are the heftiest snows coming in, and they're coming banding cycles as they come on through. And then the wind drives that banding snow and blowing snow around as well, obscuring visibility down to less than a quarter mile. Frequent wind gusts, if we can get them up to about 35, we're reaching blizzard criteria.
Well, just in tonight, we want to show you some new images of a dog rescue that we were hearing about in our newsroom. You'll see here the dog fell through the ice on Woodglen Lake and Fairfax Station. A family was reportedly tubing nearby when the dog walked out on the ice. At the time, the temperature was 21 degrees with a wind chill of 8. Ooh. Firefighters, they went in. They got him, helped him get dry and warm, and the dog is doing just fine.
Well, it's official. The Metro Rail system shut down, at least for the weekend, possibly going to reopen on Monday morning. That's all contingent on how much snow and how rough the conditions are on Saturday and Sunday. Not a soul in sight on the Twinbrook platform aside from those two gentlemen dressed in orange, tasked with removing snow from the platform here.
Josie Sturman did some digging for us. She's pulling out the video from storms of past, storms that we'd rather forget.
When it comes to rewinding the clock, the memories are a little more painful for some than others. These postal workers trudging through the blizzard of 1996 are hopefully retired by now, but 20 years ago they were in the thick of more than 17 inches of snow dropped in the 5th biggest storm on record in D.C. Back up a little bit. That's exactly what we're doing, reminding you things were no better in 2003. Just ask these Metro bus drivers who ended up stranded in the President's Day storm that didn't even crack D.C.'s top 5. But it was still a big one. Some suburbs piled up more than 2 feet of snow.
It's like being a kid again, walking around in the snow.
Walking way better than flying 13 years ago with flights canceled for days. And those who hit the roads regretted it.
I've been here 30 years. It's the worst I've ever seen.
That guy had no idea what was coming just 7 years later, 2010's Snowmageddon, a storm of legend that buried the U.S. Capitol, made the White House a white blur, and sent portions of some buildings to the ground, collapsing under the weight of snow. But some saw the lighter side of digging out, turning DuPont Circle into a ski lane.
Tell us about your specials here tonight. Head on in. We got to.
Because there's snow outside. Let's go in the kitchen. I'll tell you the special in the kitchen.
All right. So you've got some customers, no reservation, no problem. You got all sorts of tables.
See, those are heroes. Those are the brave gentlemen, which they respond because
all right.
They came from
what are you guys having? That looks delicious.
Having a little burrata and arugula salad.
What a pleasant evening.
And a beautiful bottle of wine.
All right.
Yeah, that always helps. The red wine always helps.
All right.
And now let me just give you a sense of how deep things are here. I'm walking out into my street. This is where traffic obviously normally would be. And I'm not even really on the ground here. I still feel snow underneath my feet. And, it's coming up almost to my knees here. There is absolutely, definitely a foot here. And this is what people are going to wake up to this morning. This is my neighbor's car. Let me see if I can get over here. And he's got, it's all the way up to the wheel well here. So you can see how high the snow is going. And he's going to have to dig out all of this, although I think it's going to be my 13-year-old son who's going to be earning some money digging out the cars here in the neighborhood. I finally got these guys out of bed, and I'm making them do a little bit of shoveling here. They're going to help me out through the day. I may be Catholic, but I believe fully in the Protestant work ethic.
How are you doing today?
Doing fine today.
What's your name, sir?
Ellis Dyson.
Mr. Dyson?
Mr. Dyson.
How long have you been out here today, Mr. Dyson?
Man, I've been out here since 3 o'clock yesterday.
3 o'clock yesterday afternoon?
Yesterday afternoon.
So you've been out here for 13 and a half hours plowing? What's it been like?
Rough.
And take a look at the number of vehicles we have stuck here. Many of them have shovels out now, trying to shovel out from the snow underneath of their car. Many of them not going anywhere quickly.
That we're seeing so much snow that's trying to be pushed over to the sides as they continue to work their way around the Beltway, that it's getting piled up so high that you cannot make the exits on and off. Those on and off ramps are simply not, they're not doable. You can't do it. And unfortunately, we're witnessing a number of cars that are getting stuck trying to do just that.
Emily Hendrickson posted this video on Twitter. Car was spinning its tires trying to get out of the snow and was doing it for about 20 minutes, and then this.
A partial roof collapse at the Boiler Utility Building. The good news is no injuries, but gas and power, we're told, is compromised. The power and gas are shut off right now, which is, not good news for folks, especially with how cold it is outside. We know that around 225 residents are being told to shelter in place. They don't have heat right now, but firefighters are there assisting them, and if there's any sort of change, they'll have to evacuate them to another place. So firefighters on scene assisting those residents.
Good afternoon. City officials have been telling us for days to stay off the roads, and this is exactly why. This is a DC ambulance on its way to an emergency, lights flashing, and it is stuck here at D Street and 6th Street.
Check out some of these snow totals, and these are from you guys, our wonderful viewers. So 2 feet of snow in Clarksburg, Maryland. Martinsburg, West Virginia, about 22 inches of snow.
Yeah, this is as bad as I've seen it since we first came on the air at noon yesterday. This is a tractor trailer that went into a snow embankment. It's now getting towed out. The driver says he was headed from Virginia to Illinois. The conditions just got so bad that he went right into this snow embankment. And I want to introduce you to Todd from Morton's Towing and Recovery. Todd, for the people that are at home in Bethesda, in Hyattsville, wherever in the metro area, what are the conditions on 270 like right now?
They're very poor. They've been plowing it, but the snow rate is so heavy.
It's not so great anymore. The wind this is the windiest it's been in the last 24 hours.
Some of the snowfall totals we've been talking about: 30 inches at Pleasant Valley, Percival at 29, 27 in Ashburn.
Earlier in the day, Rich Chamberlain and I were walking up toward the Dulles Toll Road, and we saw 3 nurses, we think they were nurses, walking on foot to get to work on this road. So, Yep, obviously these folks trying to get to work, trying to be there, but boy, for everybody, this is a difficult day.
They got a mess to clean up out there. Richard, thank you for that.
I mean, this is from Alexandria, and you can see the grass is green here. One of my friends sent this. He didn't want his name used, but thank you so much for sending. And you can see as the hours wear on, this is yesterday afternoon, and then the skies will get darker through the overnight hours, and the snow just piled up, and then you can see trying to keep it clean. It takes a lot of effort. I think he was out there maybe 4 or 5 times. He's probably been out there many more times since, trying to get all this snow out. So you can see how quickly it piles up, and hopefully we won't have to deal with something this big for another 20 years. And at that point, I think I'll be close to retirement.
You know that panda's thinking, this is the life.
Yes, I love the slow-mo of the panda. Everybody, please keep those photos and videos coming in. We love seeing them. We love sharing them with you. Email them to us at pics@wjla.com.
It is one of the most beautiful things I have ever laid eyes on in my entire life. It's beautiful, gorgeous, amazing.
It's like a winter wonderland. It's so much fun. It's just a blast. We don't have anything to do, so you just go outside and play in the snow. I'm not used to any of this. I don't think I could ever live here, but it's a lot of fun to visit.
The skis cut right through the snow, and you can glide right on top of it.
no traffic, and I can get everywhere I want to go, and it's quicker. It's quicker than walking in shoes through deep snow.
I think it's even more than any of us were expecting. Just trying to keep up on the path on the sidewalk so we can get in and out of our house. That's all we can do. I expect in the morning we'll have to come out and attack it again.
It is lightening up some, but the image that Rich is showing you, for example, look at this. Look at this front loader.
Incredible.
I mean, look how much snow this is. It's amazing. So this is the kind of volume that you're dealing with, and I think I heard Roz Plater or somebody else talking about this. Where are we going to put all this stuff?
And Virginia State Police, midnight through 3 p.m. this afternoon, they had responded to 186 traffic crashes. But look at the number of disabled vehicles, so much higher, 553.
The very latest on the blizzard of 2016 right here on News Channel 8.
Our Storm Watch teams are located all over the metro. They're bringing us the very latest on what we know and the conditions they're experiencing. The latest information we have right now is that Frederick County, Maryland schools are closed Monday due to this blizzard.
And we now know 17 people nationwide have died as a result of this blizzard. That is a new figure into our newsroom, one of which is a Maryland man who died after suffering a heart attack after shoveling.
And keep in mind, this is a storm system that's affecting about 80 million people. In the meantime, 6,600 flights have been canceled. Reagan Dulles runways, they are expected to remain closed throughout the day tomorrow.
We have breaking news. Conditions have gotten pretty bad in the dark. So Frederick County plows have been pulled from the road until sunrise tomorrow. Governor Larry Hogan has ordered Interstate 270 from the Beltway to I-70 split shut down.
This is the official last point of no return. And as you can see, they have these flares up here. There is a small lane where they will let you turn around and head back south. They're forcing you back at this point. No one has gotten through, but you would be surprised the amount of people who have come up this far.
As night descended on Northern Virginia, so did the wind and the snow, as it has for so many hours, relentless in its remorseless fall from the sky.
No visibility. It's even if you think it's shallow, it's very deep, the snow.
Countless cars sit in solitude, imprisoned by walls of white. Other than plodding plow trucks, the streets of Alexandria reposed under the darkness of the great blizzard of 2016.
Only the big trucks seem to be getting by, and if you'll see in Old Town, not too many people have moved their cars yet.
Mike Jones had no intention of resting on this night. This is his fourth time out today to tackle snow that continues to pile up.
Just trying to keep up with the snow a little bit.
Treacherous streets are clearly not a safe substitute for sidewalks. Despite that danger, curious or maybe stir-crazy pedestrians like Robert Washington walked desolate roads to witness a storm the likes of which they may never see again.
Just wanted to come out, see what it was all about.
40.5 inches reported in Shepherdstown, West Virginia, Ashburn, and even Newmarket, around 35, 36 inches of snow. So it's going to take us a lot of time for the melting, and then of course we'll have the refreezing overnight, etc. But just really impressive snowfall totals.
This massive plow train, we've been talking about it throughout the morning, of them trying to get these roads clear quickly, and they are serious about this. We were talking more than a dozen of these plows that are out here trying to push the snow. And one of the other things that we noticed as well is they've got smaller plows out working to get those exit ramps clear as well.
This is what a lot of people are doing. They're spending their time digging out their vehicles. They're getting out with their shovels and getting, all of the cars uncovered and dug out. But then the problem is this. Take a look at this. This is up to my, higher than my waist. You can't get a car over this. And the problem is that there has not been a plow through here.
We figured out that we moved about 80 million cubic yards of snow during this storm, and we figured that out. That's about almost twice around the entire circumference of the earth, filled with dump trucks back to back of snow that we moved off of state roads in Maryland.
Just in the state of Maryland.
Just in the state of Maryland. And that's just on state highway roads. That's got nothing to do with the local roads. So that's just what we moved.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
From the sky, the aftermath of Blizzard 2016 is both striking and serious. A snowstorm that lived up to the hype, maybe even exceeding it.
Roads are
still extremely treacherous. If you do not have to leave your home, please don't.
All across our region, scenes ranging everywhere from sobering to surreal. A roof collapse at a strip mall in Stafford County, Virginia. A house fire this morning not too far away in Fort Belvoir. And at Redskins Park in Loudoun County, a practice bubble that appears to have vanished in thin air. The Redskins report on the team website that heavy snow and high winds caused the training facility to deflate. The Redskins say it'll be reinflated when the snow is removed and conditions improve. Those words ring so true for our entire region as we sift through the drifts and beyond when the snow is removed and conditions improve. A plethora of plows pushing snow on our highways, homeowners doing their best in neighborhoods. One shovel, one snowblower load at a time.
2 feet of snow is a lot to move, and that's what we're taking on right now. We're going to be in our response phase for at least 24 to 36 hours, and our recovery phase for much longer than that.
The blizzard of 2016 has claimed its place in the history books. Now the next chapter begins, digging out.
Do we know where this was shot?
This is from Chantilly.
Oh, Chantilly, okay.
I don't. Do we know who sent this to us? Who sent this video to us? Do we know? I want to give them credit for it.
Look at that. Oh my goodness.
It's like slowly being swallowed up.
That is amazing. That's probably the most dramatic one we've seen yet, because you can really tell.
Look at that.
Just how high the snow is
and see
around
it growing
here.
up against the window.
Right now at 11, digging out after a historic blizzard. Metro's plans to get things moving after an almost unprecedented 2-day shutdown.
Plus, our team of reporters is out on the roadway showing you the spots that you really have no business taking a car, and the major artery now shut down tonight.
And we head west in search of the deepest snow in our area, and we found significant damage. The news starts now.
Now, ABC7 News at 11, on your side.
Yes, the snow has stopped falling. The wind is calm. We have sunny blue skies today, but the dangers of 2016 blizzard far from over.
Unfortunately, so far, at least 29 deaths are being blamed on the winter storm in 11 states. And that includes 2 deaths in our area. Both were older men shoveling snow. An off-duty Capitol Police officer also died collapsing outside of his Delaware home, also while clearing snow.
Now, the other big things that you need to know, the federal government is closed tomorrow. You get the day off. Emergency and telework-ready employees must follow their agency's policies. Area schools all shut down. We're scrolling those at the bottom of our screen so you'll know. And local airports are working to reopen after 11,000 flights were canceled nationwide. BWI has partially reopened already, with Reagan and Dulles hoping to follow in the morning.
Most side roads are so snowy, 2 lanes are down to one-way streets, and it's best to let the plow win. The heavy machinery focused on the main roads, but sharing that cleared pavement, pedestrians, getting groceries, going sledding, or just enjoying the first sunshine since the start of the storm.
How much do you charge to dig out?
Entrepreneurs cashed in on snow-covered cars. $25 to clear one, $50 for a driveway. As Mobile Track 7 wound through side streets, people seemed cheerful, even though many neighborhood roads have not seen a plow at all. And the GW Parkway needs to see a lot more of them. A ride down the southbound side gives a glimpse why the northbound lanes are now closed. The National Park Service concerned snow berms could flip or launch cars that lose control. The digging out continued in the dark, and so did the street walking. With sidewalks still packed, people venturing out in dark coats are making a dangerous decision.
From interstates to side streets, sidewalks to schools, the big dig is in overdrive. The next great test, clearing hundreds of parking lots and unearthing thousands of buses that belong to Northern Virginia school systems. Fairfax County Public Schools hope to open by Wednesday.
I think they're off for the week.
Yet Sunday, Irving Middle School's Hill was packed with students of all ages.
Everybody's enjoying a good snow day.
No one was contemplating their next quiz or worrying about turning in an assignment. Their only focus, staying upright.
It is not a smooth ride. If you give a few minutes, the kids are flipping and turning all over the place. And they are loving every minute of it.
Well, this is an extraordinary example of what kind of power a large amount of snow has on a roof. Take a look over here. This happened yesterday at about 5 o'clock, and part of this roof just collapsed under the weight of all that snow. There was a lot of snow in this area.
This is the sound of maximum snow.
It was a blizzard. I mean, we looked out our window, you couldn't see. It was a whiteout.
Shepherdstown, West Virginia. Buried under 40 inches.
I feel every 40 of them, too. It's been a long day.
Even four-wheel drives. Trying to get a grip, those that weren't snow-coated.
My SUV was parked in front of the house, and my son kept saying, Mommy, it looks like a big white whale.
More snow here than anywhere else on the East Coast.
I saw it on Facebook that Shepherdstown had won the Blizzard Award.
But all that snow can be a weighty problem.
It sounded like a bunch of snowballs hitting the window.
Pam Benz was behind the counter at this Exxon station outside Nearsville, Virginia, when part of the roof buckled from heavy snow.
He came in, he said he heard like a creak, and then it just blew right over.
In Harper's Ferry as well, snow was everywhere.
No! In the snow. It is not a wonderful time in the snow!
Even adults enjoying this wintry mix.
It usually happens every 20 years. We get a good couple feet of blizzard.
A January blizzard that won't be quickly forgotten.
Again?